Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about Anthony Davis credits LeBron James for working on his three-point shot, and now we're going to be talking about the Forbes 2024 Billionaires List, and Michael Jordan is on it this year. I don't know if he had been on it in the past. I don't really
I
keep up.
believe he's been on there.
I don't
Maybe.
really keep up with Forbes billionaires or anything like that.
Really?
So,
I find that,
no.
I think that's a fascinating one there. It's always kind of cool seeing who's on it. And Jordan was on it last year. I know the last few years he's been on there.
Mm.
So, but he sold his ownership share and the Charlotte team, so his numbers kind of went up. There's a
Yeah.
few people on there, so I'm looking forward to talking
Mm.
about this one.
The only thing I like when I hear Forbes magazine, like I know like it's a thing, but the only time that I like understand what Forbes is because of uh Bruno Mars's song "I Want to Be a Billionaire" and he mentions Forbes magazine and that's
Forbes
so
magazine is still one of the
when I
most
was
popular
reading
magazines.
when I was reading this article, I had the song by Bruno Mars repeating in my head the entire time.
I want to be a billionaire. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you who's not on that list. Faith and I.
Me. I don't think I'll ever be on that list in my lifetime.
Oh, I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out
You're
hope. I'm
holding
keeping
out.
hope alive.
Alrighty, so LeBron, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods among athletes on Forbes 2024 Billionaires List. Forbes released its list of the richest people in the world on Tuesday, and there are some familiar names for sports fans. It turns out that being the best basketball player in history with a still thriving apparel company has its peaks, as Michael Jordan checks in at 1,033rd with a net worth of $3.2 billion. Golfing legend Tiger Woods is listed at 2,287th with a net worth of $1.3 billion, while LeBron James checks in at 2,410th with a net worth of $1.2 billion. Magic Johnson also tied for 2,410th with a net worth of $1.2 billion as well. Jordan's accomplishments on the court are legendary and include 6 championships, 6 NBA Final MVPs, and 5 league MVPs, and 10 scoring titles. But he wouldn't be on this list from his basketball salary alone. He made $93.6 million during his career, which underscores the fact that he played in the NBA before salaries exploded to their current rate. For comparison, James is making $47.6 million in base salary alone in 2023 and 24, which is the second in the league behind Steph Curry. Yet his airness has made his riches off the court with endorsement deals with Nike, Gatorade, Hanes, and many more companies. His partnership with Nike for Air Jordan is arguably the most famous one in sports history and continues to pay off. With the Jumpman logo on current NBA jerseys, and yet Jordan is behind other figures from the sports world on the Forbes list. The majority of those connected to sports are the team owners, such as Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft, Arthur Blank, etc., etc. Yeah.
Yes. Now, this is I always talk this whole thing about there's rich people and then there's wealthy people. What was that? You have this look. What do you have there?
The
What?
article that you just sent me, the list, the billionaires list, the first one,
Okay.
good lord, net worth $233 billion.
I,
God.
I was like, I hope I sent her the right article because the look on your face was
Good
like,
Lord, have mercy. I will never reach that in my lifetime.
no. I mean, you look up what a billion is and what's a billion seconds, and it's amazing how when people really put together what a billion is. Um, The one thing about this list that always surprises me is you see soccer players, you see NBA basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see football players on there at
Mm-hmm.
all. You notice no one mentioned
Right. Yeah.
any of the football players.
Mm-hmm.
And that always that shows there's something wrong with the NFL system. Football players take the most punishment. They shorten their life. It's a brutal game, and they're never on the list. Baseball players can make the list, but you don't get there as a football player.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of a shame. That's the first thing I noticed right out the gate. That it's better to be LeBron James than Patrick Mahomes. That's kind of the way you look at it. You look at it, it's better to be Tiger Woods than it is to be, Tom Brady. Neither one of these guys are doing bad.
Listen, nobody's hurting.
Nobody.
None of these guys are hurting.
If you're on that list or talked about on that list, you're doing something right in life. But I've often wondered, why is it? And it's no one's getting there on that list because of their salary, unless you're a baseball player. Now, baseball players, uh, the guy from Japan, I can't think of his name, who's got the $700 million contract. He's getting there. Yes, just from base salary. That is crazy. I can't think of his name right now. He's having the big issue with the gambling and all that. I cannot think of his name. Japanese star, great guy. But you look at these guys, they're all making their money from the endorsement deals.
Mm-hmm.
Endorsements are ruling things. LeBron's on that list. Jordan's on that list. It's all those guys that are on there. Messi and Ronaldo. Those guys make the list for it. As a player, there's very few people. Now there's tons of NFL owners on there.
Yeah.
And that's people don't realize what a gap it is between being an owner and a player. If a player is getting paid this much, how much is the owner making to pay that salary? That's what people have to look at. And I go back to looking at the Forbes list, and is it because football players have helmets on and you just don't see their face? What is it? Why, football players just don't get the same endorsement dollars? Look at soccer players. Even if you don't follow soccer, Cristiano Ronaldo, you've seen his face, you know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James, you know who he is. Steph Curry, you know who he is. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, you know who they are.
I feel like other sports other than football, like I feel like they're more like personable sports, if that makes sense. Like,
clarify that one. I want to understand that one.
I don't like you mentioned with the helmets and everything like that. You can't really see their face or anything like that. But also, like, I don't know how to put that into words.
Go ahead. As long as we're not getting you canceled or me canceled or the show canceled, go ahead and say it. But
it seems like football is strictly more about the sport than the players, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So I think that may be a reason why that football has just always been about the sport, and people. Now, I'm not saying that people don't care about the players. It just doesn't seem like people care about football players more than they care about like basketball players or golfers or soccer players, anything like that.
I
So
agree
maybe
with
that's
you
why.
because I feel like it's easier to forget your favorite football player.
Hmm.
You know, they have like we're talking about Ezekiel Elliott, and he was one of the most popular players in the league for a short period of time, and then it's like, okay, he's done. He's old now. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, older players are still loved
Hmm.
in other leagues like soccer and basketball. Old boxers are still loved. Mike Tyson is still drawing right to this day. That's the reason why this fight coming up is such a big deal. Because Tyson still has a draw. Football players, I feel like the minute that their career starts to slide, their popularity slides.
Hmm.
That's one of the reasons why the new media is when they talk about podcasts being the new media, I think it's going to help a lot of players reach their goals because you get to see a player without the equipment or without I mean, it's like this, shoulder pads and helmet and everything else. People sometimes don't, I feel like they don't look at an NFL player as a person,
Hmm.
but basketball players, I feel like there's a closer connection to them.
Hmm.
Like you use a great example is college football. The minute that guy leaves Georgia, a lot of times they're forgotten about
Right.
unless they
I
do something
haven't,
big.
I
What are you
haven't
gonna say?
heard. I haven't heard anything about Stetson Bennett after he left and went to the Rams. I haven't heard anything about him.
and see, that's exactly what I mean. Once you leave, football players when they leave, it's like it's over. You
I also
if
feel like they
until
don't. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, 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 no. Go ahead.
I
I'm
also
very
I
curious
don't
about your thought.
I don't feel like they get as much like publicity as other sports do either. Like I feel like you see more interviews with like the players in basketball, golfing, everything like that. But also like people the news networks seem to cover more of what those players are doing outside of the sport too. I feel like you don't see a lot of what football players are doing outside of sports. Like today, whenever it uploads on YouTube, I did a short today on LeBron James. He released a new children's book, and so he's getting publicity for stuff that he's doing outside of his sporting career, and I feel like football players don't get that kind of publicity either.
Yeah,
So,
no, I mean they in LeBron's, it's better to be a superstar in the NBA. You just look at the level. I was pulling up when we were talking, richest celebrities, and it was George Lucas was number one. Steven Spielberg at 4.8 billion was two. Jordan was number three as far as
mm-hmm.
celebrities. Oprah 2.8 billion. Number four. Jay-Z 2.5 billion. Kim Kardashian 1.7. Holler at me, Kim. Your mama. I don't know what Peter Jackson is.
Peter
Tyler Perry
Jackson.
1.4 billion. Rihanna 1.4 billion as well. Tiger Woods 1.3 billion.
Rihanna is because she got a makeup brand and a lingerie brand.
I don't know how much lingerie you selling if you getting to the billion. You selling some
Well,
serious. You selling some good stuff.
her makeup is fabulous. Her makeup is superior.
Okay.
So she's
Because
got
if
great
you're getting a
makeup, great
billion off of
makeup
selling
line.
lingerie, out the Tate brand will come out next week.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure she has a lingerie brand. I believe it's Fenty, and her makeup brand's called Fenty. So
Yeah, it's something like that. Taylor Swift, I think, is a billionaire now on here as well. I don't know where Taylor Swift ended up on the list, but she's always list. Taylor's the billionaire list. So yes, this is the first time that let's see, Billionaire List alongside the richest people in the world. Yes. So Taylor Swift did make the list this year. Looks like she just got past a billion this year. So
I bet her number will
it's
be way higher next year.
you know what? If she just started taking some of that money from her cat, she would have made it last year. The cat is the one that gets me upset.
Gosh.
The cat made 90 million, and that upset me. I don't know why. And I look at my two chihuahuas differently now. It's like, you lazy freeloaders.
I know, yeah. Me and my boyfriend have a cat, and I'm like, we need to. Oh, my earring just.
Ooh, she done threw ear. Listen, she done got upset, started throwing
I'm
earrings.
gonna have to find that. I don't know.
Y'all, Faith done had a wardrobe malfunction.
Oh,
You know what?
Lord.
Oh, let's clarify that one. She lost an earring. Let's keep this wholesome over here.
All right, well, I'm gonna take this off until break time, and then I'll find my other earring.
Faith was feeling a little lopsided over there. She got all excited about these billionaires and threw it.
Yeah, send me some money. Send me some money for some better earrings.
The non-slip earrings is when are those coming out? So where did it go? It just flew?
I like accidentally hit it, yeah, and it fell out of my ear.
See,
Oh,
this
well.
is that moment where you got to take that break so you don't like step on your earring and crush your earring. So we're gonna wrap it up here. I'm doing
Well, I
it for you.
can't stand up on air. I have pajama pants on.
That's right. Faith is always professional on top, casual on the bottom.
I got PJ pants on.
So when y'all over here looking at Faith, oh man, Faith is so beautiful. She looks so amazing. Ask her to stand up.
No. Oh, gosh.
Faith is like, nope, not doing that one. So, all right.
All right. Well, sorry to cut that short. I gotta find my
We got all the
earring.
important stuff in.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some dumb criminals. So stick around. We'll be right back. I got to find my earring.